Hello and good evening. Yes, I got that. I know that's right. We had New Year.
New Year.
New Year. Good
Yes.
evening, everyone. Welcome to The Truth
Behind
Behind
the
the Truth.
Truth. Yes.
And we say Happy New Year to you. Oh my gosh, 2023.
Yes.
My God, I was just born 23 years ago. Yes, indeed. Don't nobody know. I feel like it's 23. Hey, I'm taking that 23. I didn't say add the plus to it. I just said 23. But sure, what we're hoping everyone is having a wonderful New Year starting out. And one thing I want to just before the guys start talking, I just want to say, take every day in stages, okay? Don't go for this New Year's resolution jazz that it will start every year out, and then here it is with the 7th, and you've already failed. Don't do that. Just take it in stages, and take a little bit each day, whatever that is that you want to accomplish, and accomplish that each day. Then you'll find that by the end of the year, next year, this time, but dang, I did a whole lot last year, So take it from that step. Anyway, guys, how you doing? Parnell, how are you?
I'm doing good. I just realized I have the same shirt on now that's in the promo, or it's at the top of the show. I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, I got that shirt on.
As long as you change it, you're all right.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't wear it all the time. But no, I'm good. I'm excited about, this new year and opportunities that are coming up. And like 2 more weeks, I head out to Michigan for the play. So I'm
like, congratulations. Yes.
I got to keep it ripped up so that I look good on that stage. I'm like, ooh, right. Look at that little chocolate drop.
And you're not doing what is it, a soldier story, are you?
No. Oh, wow.
What was it?
Take me out to the ball game with Jesse.
Take me out.
Yeah, take me out. Yeah, that was more like he changed that play. It was called "Check Me Out."
It was a hit.
Yes,
when it came out. Wow,
he made straightforward.
Right. It was a hit.
He's my baby.
Literally a hit. And no
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Michael. And the camera didn't miss either.
Oh, I know, right?
A hit and the camera didn't miss.
Wait, let me check my flights to New York real quick before the show closes.
It's still going on. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
See, the one thing in here, I'll let you remember, they couldn't decide whether to use a long range or a short range.
I know one thing. They confiscated those cameras. That man took that one shot. Like, where the cameras at?
Right now, they lock your cameras up in a little secure bag. I mean,
right? Okay,
you can't open it until the show is over.
Don't kill the camera now. Don't kill the camera.
But they got that picture out there. They definitely did. Somebody blew up the internet, boy. He really did. That's for sure. But how you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. I'll be doing a little traveling too. Yeah. Of course, I'll be going to LA.
Yes.
And then I'm going next month. I'm going to be in Maryland. I'm going to be speaking at one of the universities there on self-love.
Congratulations! Yes. Okay. So what is your what are you speaking on?
Self-love.
Okay, good. Well, make sure we say, because we got some people that follow us in Maryland, so we need to make sure we get that information out there and promote it. When you go, so we can banner it or whatever, so they'll be able to come and support you at that particular event. So all of our audience that are in Maryland, I know there's a few of you out there. Go out, support our brother. All right, and then definitely in Michigan. Okay, Parnell, how long you gonna be in Michigan? 8 weeks? 10 weeks?
7 weeks. Yeah,
7 weeks. Okay, so we'll have the information about his production as well. So you guys in Michigan, make sure you go support him. This is the first time you get to see him, get his autograph. Say, hey, I want to see this man. All right, the weekend I get to be in front of him.
So only $5 a picture.
Right. Exactly. Not a problem at all. But I'm so happy for you guys, really, at the end of the day, because that's what this show is about. That's what we're about, and moving forward. There's such an involvement. He's got an involvement got on, I got an involvement got on, and this show has a great involvement going on. If you had not been a grassroots member of Truth Behind the Truth, hey man, jump on. Jump on because hey, we're going from here, and guess what? Maybe ABC, NBC, one of them BCs, we're gonna be seen. We definitely gonna be seen. Right. But anyway, so glad to have the audience, and again, wishing you a happy 2023, and just sending you power, love, and energy and light for all of your success that's gonna happen this year. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and dig in a little bit before we go.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Go ahead.
I am blessed and highly favored.
Come on, blessed and highly favored.
All right. Yes.
Blessed and highly favored. I feel good. I feel like I've been rejuvenated. One thing I'm going to do, like the both of you, Parnell and Harold, I'm getting there. I'm getting back in shape. So y'all, please keep us lifted. In positivity, because that's what I'm trying. That's give us at least some real, because we need it. We need really the push and the drive. So y'all keep pushing us. Right. Keep pushing us.
Yeah, we're going to get there. I mean, especially, I'm saying especially me, but I've got to do it. Whatever I can to make the changes done. It's just, what if I know I'm getting my issues? But yes, I totally agree. But what else is going on?
Oh, everything is cool.
Well, tell them about DTWW this year.
Yeah, tell us.
Oh my goodness! Just listen, y'all. Keep a lookout for new episodes. They're coming. Mm-hmm. It's just, one thing I can say. Anybody who's an editor out there, God bless you. Because let me tell you something. I'm always on lock and key about the vision that I want for my show. And let me tell you, it is painful. It's like you have to stay focused, be in there, but anybody that's an editor, I really tip my hat to you. That's a lot of work.
It is.
And a lot of concentration.
D, I was watching one of your videos recently. You do an excellent job editing. I watched the one with Nancy Wilson, who's one of my favorite. And I was just so impressed with all of the pictures and the graphics you had. I mean, really, really top notch.
Thank you so much, Harold. Thank you.
I tell him it's that's a niche that he has jumped into, and it has just been really speaking volumes. What's the other one? Karen. One he did on Olivia Newton-John. Oh my gosh, he went like 4,000. People had in that, and then the one with Karen Carpenter, was like 3.5. And it's good to know that he has the ability to pull that audience in. From his historic standpoint, because I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of that it's a roll off of the Truth Behind the Truth Productions, in and of itself. So we got a lot of stuff going on, Then we're gonna go let Parnell talk about where in the hell is Parnell.
Yeah.
That's another thing we're introducing in 2023. But go ahead, Parnell.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun with while I'm out there in Rochester, Michigan.
Yes.
Right.
Get a little something. If I can get them, hopefully they'll be kind enough to allow me a little behind the scenes footage. I'm like, here we are in rehearsal, that'll be fun because it's also great promotion for the show. So,
and give us a tour of Michigan while you're out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All of the snow.
All the snow. Like over here, we have some snow.
No, right.
Over here, there's different snow.
Right.
We can go to Lake Tahoe and get that. Now, let's go to Lake Tahoe and get some snow.
Yeah,
my goodness.
That is for sure.
All right.
But to answer your question here, so far as I'm concerned, I think you guys know me. I'm always trying to find ways to continue to encourage. And I find myself more people being drawn to me in terms of in every day outside of here that that I'm more able to encourage. So I think that's building a greater platform, but I always look at it as the platform for all of us, because I speak to that, as a part of when I'm encouraging somebody. And I love that opportunity. I really do. Now it's just time to get monetized for it. Okay. At the end of the day. So we put it out there. Y'all send the Monday. Okay. Yeah. But I realize, and this year, I put before me that my slogan was, and I think I shared it earlier, was it's about me in 23, but I don't mean that in a selfish aspect of it. I mean that all of the things that are available, all this great energy, all this great love, all of this great power, all this great wealth, it's about me. Then it rolls over to we. Okay. So it's about we in 23, So I'm excited about that, and just the things that the Truth Behind the Truth has going forward as well, because we're building an entity, we're building an empire, and I want it to be that whatever Parnell needs, whatever you need, and so on and so forth, that this entity will be able to create more entities. you know, and that's the exciting part about it. So yeah, I'm in that flow now. You know, I'm just, you know, I've been throwing a couple of offers at, you know, where I, you know, make the other money from, and I had to turn one down because you know, it would interfere with what I'm doing. And if anything that interferes from what I'm doing, I am not in that place anymore that I give up my dream to fulfill somebody else's dream. Okay, you got to stop it. You got to put the brakes on and say, hey, look, I'm tired of feeling it. Every day you get up and do something for somebody else, you know, you fulfilling their dream. No. It's time for my dream to be fulfilled.
All right.
So you know, I put that on as a stop. I said, look, I'm dedicated to you between these hours, you know, and I can do it all inside. So I set this platform of the truth behind the truth. You know, when I started with the company, I told them, I said, look, Saturdays are taboo after a certain hour. You know, I want my production on your side will never fail, and it has not. You know, actually, it's exceeded it. So, you know, I will not, and I'm not going to. You know, at the end of the day. Lastly, I know we got to go for it. So today, our VP was in the store. Just kind of, you know, how you put stuff in the universe. So he was. I share this with you. He's in the store today. And I told him, I said, you know, I'm not apologetic about turning down your offer, but, you know, I said, if you need me to do certain things where I am, you know, then I'm willing to be able to do that. He said, well, guess what? We are coming up with an option that we're going to create another position for a key holder, which is going to be more money for that. He said, I really want to consider you for that particular spot, so you don't even have to give up and adjust your schedule. So I'm like, okay, see, you hold off, you wait. The universe has its way of setting things up for you. You know, whether you diving off into something that you don't need to be diving off into. But I'm gonna shut my mouth because we got to get ready to go to break. We got a lot more to talk about tonight. Tonight, you guys, we got the fellas tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So it's gonna be good. We got to dig on some subjects and tell you about some stuff and get y'all ready. All right, yes. We'll be right back after this break. I guess I'll take it. He'll cut us out in a minute, so we'll keep talking. But anyway, Harold, I know you were making a point earlier, and I think I cut you off. But go ahead and you finish your point. What you were saying.
I was making a point. Now you know I'm 55 now. I cannot remember what I did 10 minutes ago. So I don't.
He's talking about going to on his lecture, telling folks that they can't eat Doritos no more. They just came out with a new flavor.
I can't.
That's it. Doritos, Hot Pockets, microwavable popcorn. Take all of your diet.
So what's the deal with the microwavable popcorn? I didn't hear you say that one.
It's the lining. It's what they use in the lining to keep that it has a chemical in it called PFSA in it.
Okay.
That is linked to things like cancer. But it's in the lining. It's not the popcorn itself. It's the lining.
It's the lining. Okay. So I guess they'll probably never.
So we got to go back to making popcorn like we used to on the stove.
Right, that's true. Right. So is Jiffy Pop still okay? You can use that one. I mean, the way you put on the stove, you shake it. You know, like we grew up with, and then well, that's good. I said, well, I'm glad you shared that because and so much information about that, and I'm glad you do your research in that. But we got a break right now, so our technician is ready to go. So we'll see you guys in just a quick minute.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk Stars.
All right,
and we're back.
Yes.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. I know we have a little technical, but that's okay. Hey, we're live. That's what happens on live TV. You know, the view does it all the time. We'll people get there. The what is it? The monitor will keep moving, and we'll people go like, y'all want to say this? So here we go. Wait a minute. Let's get a whooping moment. Y'all want me to say this? Okay.
So let me just jump
But
on.
go
there,
ahead, man.
y'all.
I know you got
let's get to the tidbit of what we need to talk about. This Congress stuff that's been going on over there.
Yeah.
Y'all, let me just tell y'all, truth behind the truth. I am absolutely exhausted of our political circus.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a political theatric circus. It's just theatrical and it's ridiculous. So there's a situation where they have now finally picked the Speaker of the House, which took them forever and a day to do, and they're celebrating right now about it. But why did it take them that long to do this? What was the problem? What was going on?
Now wait a minute. Now I haven't followed this, but I did hear that. Did somebody nominate Donald J. Trump to?
Yeah, Mark Gates.
Well,
Just
Mark Gates.
It's like that should have been you're out of office right now, because if you don't even know that you just can't elect people who are not even senators,
right,
or House representatives to office.
Right.
This ain't the 7th grade class president.
right.
Okay.
It just kind of opened it up to what you're saying. I mean, they are just so many. I don't want to say good layers. They're just crazy layers, as to watching this. And I think that what they're trying to do, I think, and this is a small pocket of these people. They're trying to keep the Trump narrative moving. Okay, they're trying to deflect that this man is about to find out the orange is the new orange and not the orange is the new black. Okay, he is also, I said before on the pre-show, he is in the mirror matching up the orange with the orange. Okay, let's see what best flows in the light that he gonna be walking in. Okay, so they are trying to keep that, keep that on the forefront, because you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, the dumbass that she is. Okay, at the end of the day, and then Matt Gaetz. Okay, which his ass need to be in jail already, the pedophile. Okay, that he is, not allegedly. Okay, no, allegedly. Allegedly. Okay, that you are, and you have been also pronounced that. Y'all is waiting to carry in the court. Okay, but anyway, for McCarthy, to take this long to get put in position. I think he messed himself up, number one, by going to visit Trump when that whole mess was going on, earlier on. Yeah. He really messed himself up with that, at the end of the day. Okay. We're having a little bit of technical issues on that, okay?
That's
but it's
what
okay.
I'm talking about.
That's okay.
But going back to what you had said, these people, they're holding up so much. They're supposed to be working for the people. Now, I don't know who they're working for. Now, they could be working for Trump. They could be working for whoever that's in the backwoods handling the money. But the saddest thing about this situation is we, the American people, are out here struggling.
Right.
Some of us trying to figure out what we need to do to get by. And you got certain politicians that know they have their hands all in the cookie jar, holding up progress because they have an agenda to push. And the saddest thing about this situation is that I don't understand what it's going to take for this country to wake up. And I don't know if it's out there on the East Coast or on the West Coast, but I know one thing: we need to wake up, because it's getting absolutely ridiculous that these people, these 4 congressmen they're not going to work for Biden. They're not going to even help him, but they're holding up the situation that is going to help the country as a whole. And that's the problem. And we need to stop. We need to stop this political violence, and we need to put these people in jail. Number one, because they are treasonous. I ain't gonna lie. They are treasonous. They just say just crazy things, and they need to be in jail.
Well,
basically.
Go ahead, Pranav.
I was saying I had read a post on social media was talking about this was all a distraction to kind of take away from the commemoration of the 2-year anniversary of January.
Exactly.
It was like, well, if we get them all over here, they won't pay attention that this is the same day 2 years ago that our democracy was almost over.
Exactly.
Which I wouldn't put it past. certain folks. And
Right. I agree.
With the political theater. I mean, this is the same party that is busing immigrants to the vice president's house,
right,
as opposed to actually doing something to help them.
Right.
And also saying this, Parnell, Marjorie Taylor said this when she got her Richard Nixon Award at the Young Republicans dinner in New York, that if it would have been her and Bannon that would have been over the insurrection, they would have won because they would have been armed. Now, yes, Miss Thing had, know what? Like I say, you're right. I think this was a deflection from the anniversary that this was, and you know what? I didn't think about it, but truth behind the truth. Right. Hey, it is the truth.
Right, that's true.
It is the truth.
And I guess, and I want to make 2 points about what you're saying, but what you mentioned, Parnell, about this busing situation. This is kind of not a funny, but funny kind of kiddly. Do you think just let's go back in time? Do you think for 1 minute that the same situation going on, they would have bust people to Dick Cheney's house? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, I mean, we're of the age category to understand. Do you think they would have absolutely even made the thought pattern to do to that type of behavior? Absolutely not. The one thing, and I'll say this, then I'm gonna step out of
go hunting.
The one thing that I know, the one thing, yeah, well, that's true. The truth behind the truth here, okay, is that one thing about this country, okay, that since unfortunately that when President Obama, still not president, okay, that got elected, it's like this country, the people that they lost the respect, you know what I'm saying, for the positions that are out there, okay, and because they lost that respect, you've had this built-it up, disappointment, angers, or whatever. So you had these stupid people running for office, okay, during this time frame. We're talking about the last 10 years, basically ran for office, rather than understanding that this man and his allegiance to everyone, him and his beautiful wife, brought to this country. They brought humanity to the country. They brought respect back to the country. They brought dignity to the White House without scandal and everything else. So it lets me know that this group of people that have come along is full of shit. Go ahead.
He said it.
There you go.
Well, you basically kind of wrapped up what our Representative Hakeem Jeffries couldn't say in his ABC speech after that, where he just really laid out the differences between what the Democratic Party is going for and what the Republican Party is going for. But I think the best line was maturity over Mar-a-Lago, people over politics, and I think the well-being over the well-being of the people versus the well-connected. It was just textbook. This is how I'm gonna dress you down without really going low, but just really like, listen, somebody needs to call the behavior out for what it is. Absolutely. This is the difference of what's going on over here. And this is what we are trying to do here, is we're trying to do stuff that is actually going to move the country forward, that is actually going to benefit the most people possible, while the Republican side is more about, well, we're just trying to protect our status quo, the power, the grip of power that we've held on. Right. Was, again, motivation for the whole insurrection. Right. 2 years ago was the whole thing, just trying to hold on to power, because they're so afraid of what will happen when things change, when more people have an opportunity to achieve and to grow and make their dreams happen.
Or better said, when the color chart changed. But anyway.
When the color chart changes.
Well, on to the next.
Harold, did you have a quick point? What are we gonna?
No, I was just going to say, while we're talking about Congress and them not doing their job, January is National Poverty Awareness Month. And I didn't realize this, but 11.6% of the population lives in poverty. But then when I looked at poverty, I mean, we're talking about extreme poverty, because the classification level, one person making less than $13,590 is considered poverty. What, 13,000? I'm like, that's not, you can't even pay rent. How can you even live? A family of three is $23,030. That's the poverty. So just to me, that's not even poverty. That's extreme poverty that we're talking about. And so, and my thought is, when you have almost 12% of the population living in that type of poverty, you wonder why why there's a lack of involvement, because people are struggling. I mean, struggling big time just to eat, you know. And so when we talk about Congress, you know, let's do our jobs and help to uplift people out of that situation.
Right. That's true. That's true. You know, and that's beautiful that you said. And one of the things that we were talking pre-show about, the truth behind the truth, and what we're doing each collectively and separately, we're depositing hope, you know, into people's lives, you know, and I so applaud you for that, and Parnell and you, Don, and then myself to depositing hope in people's lives, because I know that collectively we can't change the position that they're in, but we can provide to you, I think, resources the best that we can to help change that narrative, you know. And matter of fact, I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and just looking at, like, in Georgia and all of the southern states, these people are being paid $7.25 an hour.
Texas too.
You know, I mean, that's a Big Mac at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, you literally go to buy a Big Mac, not even a full pack. What is the full meal or the meal deal or whatever it is? A meal is $10 at McDonald's. So they can't even afford, literally their whole hour wage only affords them to buy a Big Mac. That's a damn shame. You know, one of the points we're gonna move on, because we got a lot to talk about that. So, you know, and you mentioned about the poverty level. So today, before I left the other position, there was this couple that here in LA. They bought some furniture, whatever, drove up they came to the store, from my understanding, one of the nice Mercedes, really nice Mercedes, Gucci down, wasn't, you know, no offense to our Asian couple community, but you know, that's what they were. Okay, so they came in and they dropped the card. You know, they were going through their cards and stuff. So they dropped the card and realized they dropped the card. So one of my colleagues picked up the card that they had left. You know what the card was? An EBT card. I was outdone. You mean to tell me that you're stealing food? To me, that's stealing food that people could have. And I know you see it every day. I know you talk about that all the time. Stealing food that people could have by you being on government assistance. You know, and then you're doing all of this on the side. See, I'm not an advocate for putting people in jail, you know, at the end of the day, because there's enough of that. That's a whole other subject. There's a whole other that going on. But however, somewhere that accountability needs to happen. I'm sorry. That's the truth behind the truth. But anyway, I don't want to get into that too much. But I just want to bring that up to your point, you know, Harold, about the poverty in this country. You got people half starving, and you drive up in a Mercedes buying furniture with an EBT card. But anyway, go on. We got a lot more to go to.
I know. I mean, but y'all know it's a sad situation. But on a lighter note, how did y'all feel about the Rolling Stones best singers of all time? I think it was the 200 list, best singers of all time. Did y'all
was Jennifer Lopez on there? Was Jennifer Lopez on there?
Oh, you know what? I can't.
Oh my goodness gracious!
No.
She was about J Lo. I love to be some J Lo. Okay, I mean, you know, she could be in the top 150.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But I was very surprised when you told me that Celine Dion wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean Celine Dion isn't on the list?
Yeah, that's absurd. I mean, you know, I didn't. So I know that the individuals that did make it, I know Risa was number 1. Whitney was number 4. Was it number 4 for Whitney?
I think it was number 2.
Number 2 was for Whitney. You know,
and Michael Jackson was 86.
86. Really?
Really?
Okay.
Anita Baker was 30. I know Anita Baker was 30. Who else? They had a lot of. I mean, the top 10 was you know, I could agree with, but
Jennifer Hudson was number 5, I think. She made number 5, I think, on there somewhere like that.
I think so.
Yeah, somewhere.
I think so.
You know, in the list. But just to your point about that, you know, these lists, you know, as we know, if you watch, what is it, the Voice and American Idol, those that still want to watch that shit. I mean, you know, you realize that, I'm sorry, country, this is the truth behind the truth. Okay, most of y'all don't understand music. Most of y'all don't understand the clarity of singing. Most of y'all don't know what singing is. Okay, so therefore, this is why these people get in this position.
I don't like talent shows like that.
Right,
I really don't care for talent shows of America's Got Talent and American Idol, because what I realized from watching those shows is that people are not voting for talent. They're voting because they see them in those performers. It's not about the talent. It is what makes me comfortable. Because see, and that's the truth. And that is the truth. I hate to say it though. If I'm comfortable in seeing a presentation that looks like me, then I'm voting for that. Knowing that their singing is worth crap, but it's something behind that you're voting for somebody who has the worst technique and it's being exploited for monetary gain. I just stopped watching American Idol because I saw that after the third season, because I remember when Jennifer Hudson and all of them were on the third season, and all three of them, Fantasia and LaToya London and Jennifer Hudson, were on the bottom three, and Elton John. It was the Elton John episode, because even Elton John was like, "Are y'all ridiculous?"
Right.
He really went off clearly that y'all can remember. But after that, I just said, you know what? No, this is not. I can't immerse my energy into all this craziness, because this is not what it's all about. Well, not.
I was surprised that, I shouldn't say surprised, but surprised that Bob Dylan made the list. I'm like, as a singer, as a songwriter, okay, great lyrics. That is not a pleasant voice to listen to. I will never forget. I think "We Are the World" was the first time I'd ever really heard his voice. And I was like, who the fuck is that? So that's Bob Dylan? That everybody was like, oh, Bob Dylan, blah, blah, blah. You
hit that key. That's the key singing.
Exactly. We're going to pick up on your point on that part after this quick break. We're going to all be right back. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We are having a ball.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Oh my goodness.
With our Bob Dylan impressions, okay?
But you know, I have to give him credit. I don't think, probably allegedly, he did say that he really didn't care for his singing voice, but I can give him credit for being that honest. Because there are some singers that really could care less about their singing voice, but his songwriting, I would also put this as a historical note. You know, if it wasn't for The Answer My Friend Is Blowing in the Wind song that he did in 62, 63, Sam Cooke would have never written A Change Is Gonna Come.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That gave Sam Cooke the inspiration to write A Change Is Gonna Come, because he always looked at that song as a song that he should have had written.
Oh,
But when so that was
history.
Yeah,
That's why y'all. I'm sorry. This is why y'all need to watch the DTWW reaction.
And he made the list too. Sam Cooke was in the top 10. So I
was he? Oh,
yes, he was. I would give him credit. I give Rolling Stones credit for giving Sam Cooke that tribute. So I'll give you that credit. Yeah.
So what's Celine?
You know what?
Because I told you that was the first music video I ever did.
No,
really.
The first music video I ever did was Celine Dion's "Love Can Move Mountains." Believe.
Wow!
Yeah. Oh wow!
Yeah. It can, because when that video comes on, this is the first face you see. Was younger and still had hair.
I forgot about that song. Love Can Move Mountains. Now that is a song that why nobody never did a remake of that. That's
a top.
Oh my God, that's a beautiful song.
You
oh
know?
my goodness.
Parnell been famous for a long time.
Just a few years. That's all. A few years. So, Harold, did you have any points you wanted to mention about before we go on?
About the music? No, I didn't see the list, but no, the ones that Dee mentioned sound good to me.
Yeah.
Was James Brown on the list?
Who was
James Brown?
Oh yeah, he's on the list, but I think he's after the top 10.
I thought you said Bobby Brown.
I was being facetious.
I was shocked to see Ella Fitzgerald number 19. I thought she would have been in the the top 10. I really thought that, but
No, you heard what I said. I thought Harold meant Bobby Brown. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! I finally saw his BET Plus movie that he did, the 2-episode movie miniseries that he did some time back. I actually saw it. I can't. Y'all know I'm a Whitney Houston fan, but I'm just going. I love the movie, but I hate that they. Every time you saw the new Whitney Houston film, Parnell, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You did. Okay. And every now and then, every time you see something that has Whitney Houston on it, they exploit her drug use and all that craziness, but never the talent. Nobody knows what really made her such a vocal genius. You have to go to YouTube and look at that instead of because these biopics they do on her is not doing her justice. But the new one, I think they were trying to push that agenda. Do you agree, Parnell, with that? I mean,
it was interesting because it was very surface, because it's hard to get into the depths of everything. Excuse me. I felt like they really wanted to push the relationship with her and Robin.
Okay.
They really wanted to make sure that was talked about, and from the way it looks like, everybody kind of knew that was their relationship, and that her mom and dad were kind of like, y'all need to keep that on the hush, but they kind of knew that Robin was in the picture and that was more than just friends. Right. And the drug use came up in there. I think both documentaries did a better job of really letting folks know that, because everybody blamed Bobby for his drug use. And the documentaries both, her brother and stuff were like, oh, Bobby couldn't hang with us. I mean, he drank, but as far as drugs came, he couldn't hang with us.
Wow. That says a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't see the movie, but I saw a clip from the movie. And the clip that I saw was from when Whitney was on Oprah, that final time that she was on Oprah. And I just remember that performance was so epic. I remember how elegant she looked. And I didn't see that in that clip of that actress who's playing her. It didn't have that same kind of, it didn't give me elegant. It didn't give me Whitney when I saw that clip. Yeah. But I didn't see the movie, but that's all I saw.
Well, speaking of a documentary, did y'all see the Meghan and Harry documentary on Netflix?
I've seen a couple of episodes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know what? I want to say this because, see, everybody, when they talk about this story, it gets on my nerves. They always say, well, you know what? They wanted a private life. Truth behind the truth, they always say, they want a private life. But my thing is, I want to say my hypothesis on that subject of them wanting a private life, because they break it down in the documentary. If you don't know the story of Harry and Meghan, if you're not about, the English royalty, we all know the story of, he married Meghan Markle, the actress, and she became the first biracial princess, and, and now, he's Duke of Sussex and Duchess of Sussex. And now, because of the fact that they had went through all that craziness over in the UK, they're now over here in California.
Right.
But in the documentary, they document their love story, the story of their love and the marriage and the exploitation of the English press. But going back to what I was saying from the very beginning about their public life, I think people get it confused to the fact that, they asked for a private life. Yes, they did, but from taxpayers' money. Because when you are over there living in a castle that's being paid by the people of that country, your life is not private, because you're living on tax-paying money.
Right. Okay.
That calls for you to have to live in the public eye, because they're giving you the money to perform. So I think what Meghan and Harry was trying to do was to say, we're going to live a private life, but we're not going to live on tax-paying money. We're going to work for our money, which I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think what people fail to realize, or they got hurt by, is the fact that they walked away from their duties, or they just said, we'll give you your jewelry and your crown for a simple private situation, but we're earning our own money. That's what I got from it.
Maybe you can elaborate before we go on real fast. Is that so? Most of everyone that doesn't, maybe in our audience, to understand what that making everybody understand that the institution that's over there is a corporation. It's a job.
It's a firm.
It's a firm.
It's a family business.
It's a business, and they treat it as such. So they're literally hired. But tell them about it. They're literally hired for those positions.
I call them the landlords of the UK. Actually, the German landlords of the UK, because they got more German blood in them than English blood. But that's my historical, insight into that family. But yes, it is a family business where
the monarchy.
It's the monarchy. It's where they're good for tourism over in the UK. They bring money through tourism. People want to go see those castles. They want to go see the royalty, the pomp and circumstance of this family, because it's one of the oldest families of Europe. One of the premier oldest royal families of Europe. So when it brings about some form of, wonder, excitement, glamour, even though it's old and stale, but it's worth seeing for those that we don't see over here in America. Right. We have our own traditions, but they have their traditions. Right. But the fact is that, that we had somebody of our citizen, of our country, to go over there and get married to English royalty, that was something unheard of. Right. And the fact that anybody like that could just walk away from something that prestigious, how dare she? Right. And then on top of that, her being black and biracial and coming from Compton, how dare you walk away from something that is so traditional and prestigious? But that is what makes it's just tradition. It's really a big deal. And I consider them the Republicans of the UK.
And it's crazy, because she's never lived in Compton, but over there, that's what they might as well just said the N-word. Right. Think of Compton, that's what they want to think is just ghetto in the hood and gangsters and drugs and whatever. So they're like, oh, this black woman, she must have come from Compton. Yeah. And I've driven by, a friend of mine told me that where her mom's house is or was. I said, that's where Meghan Markle's mom's house. And it's a very nice house, in a very nice section of town. And it's just interesting as I watching that documentary, how Meghan says, she was never really treated as a black woman until she went over there and was dating Harry, and all this stuff came up. Because when you look at her, I think most of us can really tell, oh yeah, she's mixed. But a lot of people might think she was Italian or Spanish or whatever. But that was the first time that she really felt like, oh, so this is what darker skinned black women go through on the daily, this sort of treatment. Interesting. And I think what people don't take into realization is that Harry made this move to protect his wife and children.
That's right.
The attacks that they were receiving from the press. And he tries listen, I tried to tell y'all politely to back off, and you didn't. So here's what I'm going to do. Read between the lines. I'm out here.
This is what I'm going to do.
He got a book coming out.
Right.
He's got a book, and it's now #1 all in certain places of the world. But, you know, and it's so sad that people want to make it out like, well, why is he telling his story? Why is he outing the family?
Why not?
Well, let me ask you this. If somebody was to talk about you every day of the week, I mean, and you cannot in falsehood, and you cannot put your statement out, then what can you do? You have to do something. You can't just sit there and just take a beating. You got to get up. So the thing about it is that I think that's what really boggles my mind about this story. And the story is the same sad story. We know what happened to his mother.
Right.
We know what happened, and we know something. There was some, you know, bad play in that story, but you know, allegedly we can't get into that because we don't want to, you know, we ain't trying to go to court.
Well, real quick before we go, I wanted to not close out, but kind of chat about one of the things that was kind of disturbing to me. But I do want you to mention real fast about the Angela Bassett situation. And kind of speaking of this TikTok crap that's going on. But go ahead, take that point.
Yes, there was a situation where there was a TikTok trend that was going on, celeb deaths. Announcing celebrity deaths, false celebrity deaths. And there was a situation on a live or on a TikTok where he announced the death of Michael B. Jordan in front of Angela Bassett and Vince. Was it Michael? What's her husband?
Courtney B. Vance.
Courtney B. Vance.
My doppelganger.
Yes. And well, you know what? When he announced it, they almost had a meltdown. It was like, what? No. But later on that evening, they must have did something because he came back and apologized, and boy had tears in his eyes. And I want to assume that somebody got the whoop ass that was needed to remind him who you are. And we don't do this in this house. So I got a feeling somebody's tail got broken in, and, you know, he had to make that apology. But that could have cost her job. You know, and that's the thing about the industry. People need to understand that these actors are working within an industry of people. There are connections that are being made. And there are people who respect them enough to respect their lives as well as vice versa. So him doing that was a little bit of crossing the line in her workflow, because she has to work with these people, and her husband has to work with these people. They have to make business deals with these people. So him just using Michael B. Jordan as the catalyst to his TikTok, you know, that was the worst thing that could have ever happened. He needed to apologize because that was going to mess up everything with their business. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it best right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the thing about it is that, you know, I was having a conversation with a young gentleman today at the store about just the TikTok world. And one good thing out of that conversation that I had with him, what is he, 24, if I'm not mistaken? He's taken a step back from the whole social media aspect of things and realizing that it is not beneficial to move forward in one's life. He said, yes, he's been guilty of it. You know, it's like you get into this whole scenario, and, you know, you start building your ideas around what you see in your swipe. He said, well, a lot of it comes from boredom. I'm like, wow. He said a lot of this comes from boredom, these behaviors. So once they're bored, they start to get fixated on these different things that are being projected at them, be it from the Kylie Jenners or whatever the case may be, all these people that become these sensations, you know, overnight typically. He says, and the people that follow that, they're bored. So they don't really they're not seeking beyond those type of things, you know. So he's pulled himself back from that, you know, at 24. And he's really kind of putting his position to speak to his peers about, you know, not being, you know, getting so caught up in that aspect. I know we got to go to a quick break, but I want to dig in something real deep when we get back. All right. So
To balance me out, my feet can't touch the ground.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. It's been a fun night so far.
Yes,
I mean, my
it
God, it's
has.
been really, really great celebrating the 2023, and hopefully you guys are starting off with a great new year. One thing I wanted to, for the last little few minutes that we have tonight with you guys, wanted to dig into, I hate to say disturbing, but we can make light of it. But this is more of an educational piece. And I think each of the guys had an opportunity to view this. As people of color, and what this show is made up of, our influences have to be of such to elevation and growth, and that is one of the things that from these, all of these black men with, we're hairless black men. We have a lot of wisdom that goes on here. You know what I mean? And we really want to be able to bring that to your attention in many ways. But it also influencing the black community, as to being more astute as to what you need to do about life. Okay. So there was this thing that came up on Instagram. I shared it with the team, about that, which was the slavery Bible. Okay. I was appalled. Honestly, I really was. Okay. And for those of you that know, but even our white audience, this is information that you guys need to know as well. I was really appalled at this. And I was more appalled to the fact that we have allowed ourselves as people of color to adopt to these principles of what came out of this, the redaction that has happened through this. And we have taken this, quote unquote, as gospel. So I wonder, I've always wondered, we have discussions like this all the time. I think all of us privately wonder, is that why we as people of color, have not succeeded, because we have not succeeded spiritually. Okay. And we still think of ourselves in this slave mentality, which has been presented in the earlier days of the church. And y'all, you know how I am. I get into that. Okay. In the earlier days of the church, quote unquote, you were taught this. Okay, there's no reason why to say that it wasn't, because it was a Bible that you found, that your ancestors found this as a level of truth. So you were taught this. Rather than putting a stop to it earlier on and getting the full truth behind the truth, you allow this to become whatever untruth to you, as a person that you are in God. So I just want to dig into this just a little bit, get you guys' opinions on that, as quickly as we can, about this, and how we can educate our community and stop falling into I won't say that, the stuff that keeps you bound. Okay, so Pernell, I know you love it. You're good at that point.
Yeah, I was so glad that you forwarded that clip to me, because of course we've heard about it. But it was what I thought was interesting was how the reporter who was reporting on the story was talking about in the Bible that we now have has like over 11,000 chapters in it, but the slave Bible only had like 200 and something chapters. Right. All the stuff that was taken that would have been about liberating and treating each other as an equal was all taken out because they didn't want the slaves to think about freedom and equality and all that stuff. But as you were saying today, I think so many people were so indoctrinated into that little it's okay to be poor and humble and blah, 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 blah. And you shouldn't expect to be treated well now. You're going to get it in heaven. That it still it's taking some time to get out of the mentality. Go like, no. Heaven is a state of mind, not a destination. Right. Right.
Exactly.
And, scripture even says, like, if you think heaven is in the sky, the birds will get there before you. If you think heaven is in the ocean, then the fish are going to get there before you. It's not a place. It's a state of mind, a state of being.
Absolutely. Gotcha. Harold?
Well, I've always had an issue with the Bible, the slave Bible, the regular Bible, because I never understood who decided what was going to go in this book. That was who made that decision? How did that come about? So I always have questioned it. So they all the same to me.
Okay.
But you know what? You talk about that. I was thinking, when we started, the black church, when the black church started, it was a little bit in the midst of slavery, but it was done in secret. But then after slavery, you think about those places down south where we had our own apartheid. We had the black code laws, and we, on top of that, Jim Crow and segregation and all that came about. But then in the religious aspect of it, if you think about it, in those churches, in those black churches, there was always somebody in that audience that was creating some type of conflict within the black church. And there was always somebody, our Caucasian white brethren, who was either mayor of the town or sheriff of the town, making sure that the black pastors were were making sure that hey Charles, how you doing?
Okay.
That was making sure that the agenda that was pushed of oppression was still pushed down on Black people.
Right.
Now, you know, and I love that you brought up this because of the fact that this is how important the Black church has been in our community.
Right.
It was always considered the cornerstone of our community when it came down to education, when it came down to fraternities, sororities, HBCUs, everything that really brought in the Black culture, even to our music. Whatever brought into the Black culture came out of the Black church.
Right.
But there was always this scenario in the back end of the story of this. You cannot say so much. You cannot be too progressive because if you're too progressive, you're going against the grain of what we are putting up against y'all, the building blocks of what we're putting up against you, which is Jim Crow segregation. That if you do this, we're going to burn your churches down.
Wow.
On top of that, we're going to bomb your churches down. And there were evidences of this. Remember when the Children Crusades, and I don't know the JB rapper, I'm going to make the Children Crusades of Birmingham, Alabama in 1962, when the children were marching, they were marching from 16th Street Baptist Church. That church was bombed.
Right, that's true.
Because of that narrative. But I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. But that was what I wanted to put in there.
What I'd like to say, we'll pick this up a little bit more deeper discussion next week.
It's an interesting story.
We'll pick this up next week on the next week's show, guys. Okay, because it is a little bit we can dig into a little bit more and educate you more. But tonight, again, powerful show, guys. I mean, I loved it. Loved where we went. I hope you guys have been inspired, this week and to find out more information. Hey, dig into this as we're wrapping up tonight. Dig into this because there is a lot of truth. And this is just not for the Black audience, okay? It's very important for our white audience to understand it so you can understand the different cultures much more effective than necessarily that you do right now, okay? But this is some truths. But hey, pursue your freedom, okay? Is what I'm going to say. Pursue your freedom, okay? Educate yourself in a position that you can live above all of these things that are being presented to you. And they're being presented to you for you to challenge. Okay, challenge the truth behind the truth. All right, have a beautiful night, have a powerful night. We will see you next week. Got great things going on this month. Finances for the men. We'll talk about that later. Have a good night, guys.
Bye. Peace out.